G'day viewers, it's the end of another week. How are you right now? I'm just going to say right off the bat, a lot of people might be expecting me to do a long, impassioned rant about gun violence in America after the last shooting, the most recent school shooting in America, horrific death rate, whatever. No, just no. And, I mean, there's two main reasons. One is because I try to avoid doing anything that could appear to be attempting to profit from death and suffering or make light of it. And second, what's the fucking point? There's no point. Every time one of these mass shootings happens, and they happen so often in the US, I'm just gonna point, no, there's no point. Sandy Hook was it. That was the line under it. Like when all those little kids, little white kids, and that's an important aspect, got slaughtered and nothing was done. Well, that's it. Literally, nothing can happen that's bad enough. The hundreds of people shot in Las Vegas. It's just, nothing's going to happen. So I'm not expending any emotional energy on it. Yeah, it's horrific. Yeah, it's awful. Yeah, the solutions are really fucking obvious. The rest of the world shows it. And people who argue against some form of gun control make me sick. They're despicable. But there's just no point. There's no point. Put a blanket under it. Awful thing that happened. Nothing will be done to improve the situation, and it will happen again and again and again. When the US has as many school shootings in the start of the year, the first 2 months of the year, as the rest of the world has in about 20 years combined, it's right there. It's staring in your face. There's a really big problem. The rest of the world has shown you potential solutions. No action's going to be taken, so forget it. No. We'll put that to the side. And rather than being really depressed and talking about such a depressing thing, I'm going to talk about something that's fucked up but funny. And that is the ongoing scandals with Barnaby Joyce. I made a video earlier in the week. He's the leader of the National Party, the junior coalition partner in the coalition government in Australia, and he's the Deputy Prime Minister, and he got caught out fucking someone on his staff. While he was married, while he was preaching family values to try and control other people's lives, he's obviously a disgusting, despicable, lying hypocrite who should never be allowed to make any pronouncement on public policy again ever. But also, there's this piling up of evidence of nepotism and possibly actual criminal corruption, with him fixing up his girlfriend with other cushy taxpayer-funded jobs just to try and keep it quiet and get her out of his office. And now him and his girlfriend shacked up in a house owned by a party donor, someone who tries to influence party politics, and that reeks of something that he might have to answer for. Now, the pendulum on him, whether he's going to get off or on or whatever, has swung back and forth. Like, there was a big slow swing over a couple of days. It was like, he's almost definitely gone. But then he made it clear he didn't intend to, and it seemed like his own party might not push for anything. So it swung back to he's not going to lose his job. But then it quickly swung back again because it became clear within the ranks of his own party, there were people who thought, he can't really stay on after this. And it's complicated by the relationship between the two conservative parties that make up the coalition. The Liberal Party, and yes, I know, rest of the world, you think, what? Conservative, Liberal, capital L Liberal, long story, but they are the Conservative Party. They're the urban-based Conservative Party, and the Nationals are a rural-based Conservative Party. They have a smaller number of seats, and the Nationals don't like being told what to do by the Liberals. And to be fair, the Liberals do tend to, by and large, treat the Nationals like hicks and stupid jerks in a quite unfair way. And so when Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull said in a speech to the media that Barnaby should sort of consider his future, it's a very poorly coded message, resign you fucking idiot, you're derailing the entire government. And Barnaby lashed back and basically said, fuck off. And so you've got the two leaders of the coalition partners clearly at odds with one another, and it manifested itself in this unusual way. Prime Minister Turnbull will be out of the country for a week. Now, what is normal procedure is the Deputy Prime Minister is acting Prime Minister while the Prime Minister's overseas. He's off doing whatever he's doing, but the running of the government and the Parliament and stuff is managed by the Deputy PM, who's called the Acting Prime Minister. He's technically the head of the government in Australia while the PM is out of the country. And this, in the coalition, it's always the leader of the Nationals who's the Deputy PM, so they're acting PM while the PM's away. In this case, they've actually forced Barnaby Joyce to take leave. Barnaby, as he says, it's his choice. It's like, yeah, it's your choice, buddy. You weren't forced to do it. He's to try and, you know, sort this out. Oh, he's caused such drama to his family. Man, your family fucking hates you right now, okay? You're a piece of shit. You're a lying, conniving piece of shit. You trotted them out saying, I want to vote against the queers getting married because I'm protecting my family. At the time, you were shitting all over your family by fucking someone else. They hate you, okay? He's just shacked up with his girlfriend at the moment. He was forced to take a week's leave, so he won't be acting Prime Minister. And the next on the rank, I think it's Matthias Cormann, is going to be acting Prime Minister while Malcolm Turnbull's away. Which, this is borderline unprecedented. They've just said to Barnaby Joyce, there is no fucking way with the shit you have pulled, you are going to sit in the role of Prime Minister. Fuck you, man. It's not going to happen. And they've sidelined him. This is causing tension. And the reports are that a significant number of National Party members have gone, he actually can't stay on because this can just be used to derail literally everything the government tries to do. The opposition just have this big stick to beat them with. Hey, look, your guy there, he's all kinds of wrong. And one of the fun things to come out of it is how badly Turnbull and the Libs have read this all along. Like this week, he actually said, okay, there's been this big uproar. We did the world's shittest defense of it's not nepotism for him to get his girlfriend a job because she wasn't officially his partner at the time. So how is that preferential treatment? Just because he's fucking her? I don't see a conflict of interest at all. So Turnbull has said that, okay, we've updated the rules to say explicitly MPs can't fuck someone on their staff. And that has shown so much about the people involved. Because Barnaby Joyce has gone like, oh, well, if you're going to really bloody look hard on who's fucking on their staff, you're going to have to look at a lot of people. As if that's a reason to not fucking punish him, to not look at him. It's going, you'll have to look at other people. Bring it on, dickhead. I think a significant majority of the country are all for a bit more fucking openness in to what extent are politicians fucking their staff. And that's a really bad power dynamic, a boss fucking their staff, particularly when they're all being paid by taxpayers for their shenanigans. And I'm not saying this is a partisan thing, like, I think it's only the Conservatives who'll be doing this. If there's people in any branch of politics who are fucking their staff, fucking stop them, okay? It's not acceptable. It's just bad behaviour. But it's not even about the sex. So you've got Barnaby Joyce saying, oh, banning people from bonking, that's a standard people can't adhere to. Really? Really something that straightforward? Just a simple rule. If someone's on your staff, to avoid claims of sexual harassment, to avoid impropriety, to avoid ideas of nepotism, just don't fuck them. That's a simple rule. And that's too much. That tells you a lot about the sense of privilege of these people if just saying don't fuck people on your staff is too big an ask. That really tells you a lot about them. But also, the simple fact is, the fucking someone on your staff is not the big deal. That you've got the people on the Conservative side saying like, oh, you're just upset about their relationship and they're happy on, oh, everyone has sex. It's not about the sex. It's about the abuse of power. It's about the nepotism. It's about what is increasingly looking like outright corrupt behavior. That's what's important. When you get cushy jobs for people you're fucking. When you take the gift of free accommodation from someone who donates to your party, that's not on. It's not about the sex. The sex is a side issue. It is not the central issue. Turnbull going, oh, we're going to stop people from fucking their staff. Not the problem, you fucking idiot. I can't get over how much these people are revealing themselves as being hyper-privileged, hyper-self-centered, and completely out of touch. It's absolutely surreal, but hey, I'm shamelessly partisan, and as long as this is completely destabilising the government and fucking up everything they try and do, I hope the drama drags on for ages. The Nats want Barnaby to resign because they don't want to, stage a coup against him. They want it to be his decision, but he's saying he's not going to do it, and the Nats are realising it's fucking up our entire agenda to have him there. He can't stay there. And so it's just a huge soap opera, which I am having a good laugh at. Oh, look, one more fucked up thing I want to quickly go on before I sign off. Black Panther opened this week. Latest Marvel movie. I have seen it. It's really fucking great. It didn't even feel like a Marvel movie. It's just a very good movie. Go see it. But there's been some really obvious peripheral things because the cast is overwhelmingly black because it's set in Africa, the fictional African nation of Wakanda. All the racists, the alt-right and the neo-Nazis, white supremacists were very upset by this and they tried to bomb the ratings on sites like Rotten Tomatoes. Again, that's just a thing they do now. It's like they argue against identity politics, but then they base everything around their identity of being white and fucked in the head. But there's been some great elements, like someone here in Melbourne tried to, and they successfully organised a fundraiser to get some disadvantaged African youths who are living here in Melbourne now to go and see Black Panther. Because going to the movies is fucking expensive now. And their fundraiser was going quite well. And then Disney themselves, who own the Marvel Studios, kicked in and said, yep, we'll organise some screenings for your benefit. And I love that, first because, again, the whole idea, representation matters, seeing positive role models is good. But second, as soon as I saw it, I went, man, this is going to make the racists lose their tiny little minds. And it did. And that's a thing of beauty. It's like, these people are such losers. They are everything they say they hate in other people. They are precious little snowflakes who get set off at anything. They are tied up in identity politics, which they say they hate in anyone else. And they are triggered by almost anything. And I love that they just keep outing themselves. They don't realise what they're exposing themselves are because they're so tied up in their tiny little bubble of racist hatred that they don't realise everyone else can see them. And it's so obvious. And it's a thing of beauty. But in short, go see Black Panther. It's a good movie. Don't pay any attentions to racists unless it's to laugh at them because they're a fucking joke.